Football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, Week 1. Taken in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Their own 21-yard line.
A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Dalvin Cook's best game of 2019 came against these Packers. It was in Week 2 early in the season, but he had 154 yards and a touchdown on the ground, though his Vikings actually wound up falling 21-16 at Lambeau. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
4 yards on the
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. And quickly to Thielen here. 7 yards there and a first down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
Now he'll pull it down, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
second and 6.
A give to Cook out of the gun. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And it's caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Packers nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up first and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
gain on
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and that will force a turnover on downs. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
As the tight end position continues to grow in importance and gain respect, you understand even more why the Vikings selected Irv Smith out of Alabama in 2019 in the 2nd round. They already had a big-time tight end in Kyle Rudolph.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. For 3 yards out. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
A tackle by Nick Vigil.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The score, Vikings 14, Packers nothing.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Abdullah to return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is It's really hard to narrow that gap, and the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now a first down throw complete downfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Smith Jr., 57 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And it is now 21-0.
This makes the score Vikings 21. Packers nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
So many times someone's success is the product of a lot of things coming together really well. And for Aaron Jones in 2019, it all came together for him. He stayed healthy, was on the field for all 16 games, got handed the ball 100 more times last year, and as an end result, broke 1,000 yards in a season rushing for the first time in his career.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
2nd and a yard.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And right away, he'll look to throw. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Setting up the screen for Cook, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He was brought down by Patrick.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column. This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room.
3rd down.
And the 13-year man puts it through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's got some space here. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. You think about the great running backs in the game today. I don't know if Aaron Jones is a name that comes immediately to mind, but it should, evidenced by that run there. Only the Titans converted more red zone opportunities into touchdowns than the Packers last year, and they've got an opportunity here first. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 3 yards out. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either. Once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That is something to see.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
He's brought down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down now, it's Cook. And some room to roam now. And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 14-yard line. Boy, the word with Dalvin Cook is explosiveness. I'm not sure there's anybody in the league that has the acceleration that he does, and he put it to good effect there.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the Packers' 14-yard line.
14-yard line, 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That's tough there, starting to mount a good drive. Quarterback lets his guard down for just a moment, and it's going to bite him.
And I was just about to remark how control of the game they were here in this third quarter, but that return for 6 points, we now have a game again.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
Packers 18.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position and throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Kenny Clark came into the league as one of the youngest players ever to be drafted. He's now one of the unsung leaders of this Packers defense. Went to the Pro Bowl for the first time after the 2019 season.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it in without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. They run. Cook. Cook, a first down and more. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it's in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Again, it's Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. That's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run with Love. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 34.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll go again to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drop.
Downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
It doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Cook on the first down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Cousins to throw. The open man is Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
When offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Again, it's Cook. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
A gain of 9. It's 4th down.
Running for it, here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long.